Hey guys, Nick DiPaolo here. As you know, my show exists because of viewer support. We need your support. And Patreon is a great way to support this show. If you become a Patreon member, you're a monthly subscriber, you will get an encore presentation story that nobody else gets. You will get to ask me a question during the show. You will have access to all the previous shows. You also could get a Nick DiPaolo mug or a signed CD, depending on what level you sign up at. Your support is really necessary. So subscribe today so you can hear your name mentioned on the show tomorrow when I read out people who have made donations. It's more important now than ever. And I thank you for your time, and we'll see you down the road. Oh, yeah. How are you, folks? God bless America. Not all parts of it, just the parts I like. How are you? It's welcome, a Monday in Georgia. Came out of my house, about I don't know, fucking 11 o'clock. Oh, 94 degrees. And that'll be the coolest. Jesus Christ. I left the air conditioner off this weekend in the studio because I don't want to pay for that, right? Came here today, 93 in the room. We got it down to a nice freezing, 88, Raz? Jesus Christ, I put a tie on, nobody can see it. Could this fucking tie get blocked by this microphone any more efficiently? Really pisses me off. I dress up for you people. Let me do the show from back here. Anyways, how's it going? I'm gonna,
Mr. DiPaolo, no one could be as nasty as you pretend to be unless...
Shut up.
The Antichrist. You got me in a vendetta kind of mood.
Man, fuck you and your bone spurs.
All right. What's going on? America in disarray. Excuse me. COVID going through the roof. But again, I say, who cares? The only number I care about is the mortality rate. And again, if you're under 70, you have a red pubic hair's chance of dying. So who gives a fuck? We lose a few grandparents a couple of years early. What are you going to do? Nick, but other people kids are getting it, yeah, whatever, but they're not dying. Open the schools. Anyways, I want to thank you guys who chat live during the premiere of the show at 5 o'clock. As you know, YouTube has limited us, so we really appreciate those who submit those super chats. We need the money because they're playing with me. This is from Ravenite from yesterday. Nick Cannon is ruining the name Nick. He's also ruining the name Cannon. He's a fucking dope. Raz told me he was thinking about killing himself. Well, stop thinking about it and get it done. Racist. I would have fucking thought about killing myself after I realized I fucked that fat... What's her name, Raz? Mariah Carey. Nick, that's horrible. I don't give a rat's tits. For those of you who noticed, we won our dispute with YouTube thanks to the fucking best manager in the business, Tommy Nicky. And last Wednesday's episode is back up and viewable. They're clearly gunning for me, though. So please make sure you're all subscribed and getting notifications when the show premieres. We're hearing a lot that people are being unsubscribed or no longer being notified. Do you see what I'm up against? Do you see what people like me are up against? Whether it's shadow banning on Twitter or this horse shit. So please make sure to follow me also on Parler, Parler. My handle is at Nick DiPaolo Show. And here's a few upcoming dates. September 17th through 19th, the Plaza Hotel and Casino. Huntsville, Alabama. October 11th, the Zanies Comedy Club, Nashville. And November 19th, the Improv in Raleigh, North Carolina. So there's some southern states I haven't been for a long time. Oh, yeah. I got laid in North Carolina. I was doing Charlie Goodnights. Oh, my God. Fucking tremendous. Sure, I had chlamydia for like 2 weeks, but, little soap, little Pfizer-Hex, Mercurochrome, a couple Band-Aids, and that cock was good to go. Let's get into it. We always like to open the show with our favorite presidential nominee ever, the fucking brain dead. And I've been saying this on the show for a long time. He was brain dead way before now. Even when he had all those marbles, he was a cheater, a liar, and a fraud. He's about as sincere as his hair plugs and his fake teeth. Joe Biden, this clip of him resurfaced, him back in the 80s lying through his goddamn teeth. He's a liar. He's not fit to run because he's senile, yet you people are still backing him. What does that tell you how friggin' desperate the Democrat Party is? Or they're doing it intentionally because they can use him as a puppet. This guy will say anything to keep power. But let's take a look at some the best of Joe Biden lying. Again, this is back in the day. Roll the tape, killer.
Biden seemed to be claiming Kinnock's vision and life as his own.
Why is it that my wife, who's sitting out there in the audience, is the first in her family to ever go to college?
Why is Gladys the first woman in her family in 1,000 generations to be able to get the university?
My ancestors who worked in the coal mines in northeast Pennsylvania don't come up after 12 hours and play football.
8 hours underground and then come up and play football.
It's because they didn't have a platform upon which to stand.
There was no platform.
Oh my God, he's a fucking fraud.
The notion that every thought or notion or idea you'd have to go back and find and attribute to someone, I think is, quite frankly, ludicrous.
The problem here is that Senator Biden told his audience he'd just been thinking about these things, and he failed to give any credit at all to his famous British speechwriter.
You know, I was thinking on the way over here. Now that's a little too much because, as you point out, what's behind the words? What's there? And a lot of people, the rap on Biden has always been that it's just a surface.
I should have said, to paraphrase Neil Kinnock, it's the only time I didn't.
Liar, liar, whore, liar.
But CBS News found a tape of a second instance.
It reappeared in the New York Times with a new charge, that Biden had appropriated a famous litany from the late Robert Kennedy about what the gross national product cannot measure.
It cannot measure the health of our children,
The health of our children,
the quality of our education,
the quality of their education,
the joy of their play.
for the joy of their play.
Biden gave Kennedy no credit. He's also quoted or paraphrased John Kennedy, Hubert Humphrey, and British Labour Party leader Neil Kinnock, all without credit.
Biden seemed to be...
More? Here we go.
Stem from taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship.
Liar,
Went back
liar,
to law
whore,
school
liar, whore,
and in fact
you know
ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School.
76 out of 85! There was an interesting incident, speaking of white supremacy and Black Lives Matter, and Raz says we've had this woman, we played a clip of her before, I think he's right, in front of the Trump Tower. As you know, Bill de Blasio last week was out there painting Black Lives Matter, remember? Because he's a fucking whitey, coward, self-hating, communist fag. Anyways, they painted Black Lives Matter in front of Trump Tower, and there's a black woman out there this weekend trying to paint it over with black because she gets it. She gets that BLM's a fraud, and there was a cop out there trying to break it up. Watch this. This is very interesting.
Sorry, my bad. No. Confirm or what? Yeah.
They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. Refund the police. Refund the police. Refund the police. Refund the police. They don't.
Refund the police. She's exactly. Let me ask you a question. Why are the cops trying to stop her? Were they trying to stop the people who painted Black Lives Matter? Why is one legal and one not illegal? It's a freedom of expression. Go ahead.
Care about Black lives.
Keep your eye on the cop in the background.
Fuck you! Refund the police! Fuck devil!
Oh! Fucking Barney Fife goes down.
Refund the police!
Frazier is down. Frazier is down. Holy Christ. Could the cops be more futile? You can't even break up a lady on all fours? Finger coloring? But that lady is exactly right. BLM doesn't give a shit about black people. Somebody get her a brush, by the way. There's a lot better ways than using rubber gloves to paint the street. But look at Barney Fife down there. And look at the guy snapping a picture of him, fucking David Cassidy. And who's the fat fuck standing over the cop? But why are they trying to stop her? Why is that illegal? Huh? Defacing the street originally with that big, stupid yellow sign's illegal. Fucking... Do we have that clip you said she was on the show before, Raz? Here we go. Raz, hold on. Raz thinks this is the same lady. Now, I give him the benefit because he's black. I can't tell him apart. But I hope he's right. Now, I don't know if the voice goes together. But watch, if this is the same woman, even if it's not, she's straightening out this safari bitch.
In the same position you're in, so I'm not even mad at you, baby. I don't feeling like
news because it's all
fake news. This is the thing. I know people don't like Trump. I understand that. But let me tell you something. If I had to pick between him and Joe Biden, I'm not voting in Joe Biden. You want to see a bunch of black people go to jail by the next 4 years? Put Joe Biden in jail. Watch what.
That's the wrong reason not to vote. She's not as smart as I thought she was. That's the wrong reason not to vote for Biden. But go ahead.
Happens. You want to see black men get killed substantially, like you've never seen before? Put Joe Biden in and watch what happens.
That's wrong.
These Democrats, and I'm sorry to say this, I'm not trying to be racist, but they hate black people. These are the same people who fought to keep slavery in. These are the same people who built the KKK. These are the same people who hated us from the beginning. The Republican Party is the party of the blacks. Blacks free. The Republican Party is the only party that the black people actually.
Raz says that's her painting over the Black Lives Matter thing. I don't know. She's more attractive in the second clip. She's put on a few since COVID. Yes, sir. But that cop falling on his face, that does not help things at all. God, is it hot in here, Raz. I can't wait for the show to be over. This is trickling right now on my ass crack. It's going down there to cool off my nutsack. Anyway, speaking of New York and racism and race, and this story tickled my... Michael Goodwin used to write for the New York Times for 18 years. 18 years, probably, I don't know how many years ago, he flipped. He woke the fuck up and became a New York Post writer. I actually got to meet him on Fox and Friends in the green room. I said, you familiar with my work? He goes, who the fuck are you? No. He's actually a great writer. Here's his headline, though. Michael Goodwin in the Post. The family that owns the New York Times were slaveholders. You hear that? Why is that important? Because they're the ones who are calling all white people racist. This is a white supremacist country. We have to get rid of George Washington. They're for pulling down all the Confederate statues. This is the paper of record pushing all that shit. Because this country was built on slavery. Meanwhile, the fucking guy who owned the New York Times has family roots who are slave owners. Good going, Michael. Evidence shows that members of the extended family of the New York Times owners were slaveholders. Last Sunday, he says, I recounted that Bertha Levy Ochs, O-C-H-S, the mother of Times patriarch Adolph Ochs, Adolf. How couldn't he own slaves? His name's Adolf. Nice three-piece suit, crazy white. He looks like Hesh from The Sopranos, who, by the way, was Jewish. Adolf, that's Ochs, supported the South and slavery. This is the guy that founded the Times. Anyways, Bertha, the mother of this chooch, was caught smuggling medicine to Confederates in a baby carriage, and her brother Oscar joined the rebel army. Goodwin says, I have since learned, according to a family history, Oscar Levy fought alongside two Mississippi cousins, meaning at least 3 members of Bertha's families fought for secession. Okay? Slave owners fought for secession. That's from the OJs, 1971. Adolph Oaks' own Southern sympathies were reflected in the content of the Chattanooga Times, the first newspaper he owned, and then the New York Times. The latter published an editorial in 1900 saying the Democratic Party, which Oaks supported, may justly insist that the evils of Negro suffrage were wantonly inflicted on him. 6 years later, the Times published a glowing profile of Confederate President Jefferson Davis. Can you imagine them doing that today in the Times? On the 100th anniversary of his birth, calling him the great Southern leader. I thought that was Bear Bryant, by the way. Oaks reportedly made contributions to rebel memorials, including $1,000 to the enormous Stone Mountain Memorial in Georgia that celebrates Davis, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson. Remember the Black Lives Matter at Stonewall a couple weeks ago, saying, "Where are all the white supremacists? They don't exist." Well, they do, but you haven't come into the neighborhood yet. He made the donation in 1924 so his mother, who died 16 years earlier, could be on the founder's roll, adding in a letter that Robert E. Lee was her idol. Again, these are people that own the New York Times. This is their roots. In the years before his death in 31, Oaks' brother George was simultaneously an officer of the New York Times Company and a leader of the New York chapter of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. These guys, they have more slave blood on their hands than anybody on the right. All that would be bad enough given the same family still owns the Times and allows it to become a leader of the movement to demonize America's founding and rewrite history to put slavery at its core. As part of the revisionism, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abe Lincoln are suddenly beyond redemption, their great deeds canceled by their flaws. Exactly, they're fucking hypocrites.
You fucking hypocrite.
A week ago, Goodwin says, I was aware of no evidence or claims that any members of Bertha's family owned slaves or participated in the slave trade. That statement's no longer accurate. I have found compelling evidence that Uncle Bertha Levy Oaks lived for several years in Natchez, Mississippi before the Civil War, owned at least 5 slaves. Is that going to come up in the op-ed page this week in the Times? He was her father's brother, and his name was John Mayer, great guitar player, because he dropped the surname Levy, according to a family tree compiled by the Ox-Sulzberger clan some 70 years ago. Mayer was the store owner and prominent leader of the small Jewish community in Natchez. Jews living in Mississippi? Back then? During the war, organized a home guard unit, according to the historians. Bertha, who came from Germany as a teenager, might have been horrified by the experience of witnessing and being served by human chattel. Instead, she fully embraced the barbaric practice and became devoted to the peculiar institution. She was a charter member of a Daughters of the Confederacy chapter and requested that a Confederate flag be draped across her coffin, which it was. These are the family members of the Times, if you trace back. Separately, there is also compelling evidence that the brother of a Revolutionary War era ancestor of the Sulzbergers branch of the family was involved in the slave trade. Oh my God, what a filthy family.
White power, 1, 2, 3, 4! I stand and watch my country going down the drain. We are all apart.
My wife wouldn't let me use that as our wedding song. What a bitch. So anyways, the point of that whole story is the New York Times, you have no right to shit on anybody who owns slaves, blah, blah, blah. It's like getting pissed at people who wore bell-bottoms in the 70s. That's how it was. Wasn't right? Damn right ugly if you look at those pictures from Studio 54. And what a hatred, huh, for the country? What a hatred right now. Raz, what's the temperature in here? My fucking nipples are melting. 87? 87? It's on, right, the air? I'm going to do this show from Anchorage. It does feel like 95. Speaking of hate of this country, here's one of the broads. Who is she? Was she a BLM founder? I think so. A local organizer of the BLM chapter, I think. You're right. In Portland. Okay? This is her words Our mission is the abolition of the United States as we know it. She's another attractive woman, another beautiful woman, confused about her sexuality, her race. If you look at most of these protesters on the left who hate this, I've said this 1,000 times, it's a great point. You'll never hear it anywhere else. It's not even about that. They hate their lives because they don't fit into the mainstream of the society in the United States, whether it's their sexuality or their fucking skin color. They're just angry at life. So what they have no friends, so they find their friends in groups like this and channel their misdirected anger towards the country they were born in. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it, as Colin Quinn used to say. Let's listen to this little fucking violet.
Hi, everyone. As many of you know, my name is Lilith Sinclair. I'm an Afro-Indigenous, non-binary local organizer.
Pause. Afro-Indigenous, non-binary, local twat. You're ugly as the day is long. Nobody liked you as a kid. Even the priest behind you wants a... What the fuck's a priest? You got a Catholic priest. Took time out from fucking Cub Scouts to put on his African garb. Jesus Christ,
He's a little whore and a little piece of trash.
Okay, let the hater talk.
Portland, organizing for the abolition of not just the militarized police state, but also the United States as we know it.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
I want to make sure that while we are standing here on stolen land, we make sure to do a land acknowledgement.
Stolen land. Why don't you grow some hair, get a tit job, or just grow a dick and get it over with? You hate yourself because you're black/white. You hate yourself because you're gay. You're just pissed at the world. Standing here on stolen land. You can say that about every country in the goddamn planet. I love the way they hold this country to a different standard. Oh, you make me fucking ill.
Fuck your mother!
Oh, easy now. There's no reason. And look at the white pieces of shit behind them. Just backing this up. Fucking spineless. I'm an Afro-Indian, Puerto Rican, Eskimo with skin cancer and dandruff, and I'm just a victim. Abolition of this country. Good luck, sweetie. How did CHOP work out, or Chaz, whatever the fuck it was? That lasted almost 4 minutes. I say bring it on. You're going to get bitch slapped. I'll know you want abolition of this country when you start wandering into rural areas of Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee. Then I'll take you as serious. But as long as you're staying in cities that are run by lib fucking dem mayors, chicken shit, you show me nothing. Because I assure you, those white supremacists that you guys are always talking about, they are loaded for bear. I'm not condoning, I'm just saying, be careful. You called the white man the devil for a reason. You're about to find out if you keep pushing it. You know who the biggest white devil is? Pat Sajak. What? Why'd I pick him? He's actually a Republican and a Trump supporter. I was just trying to think of the whitest guy I could think of. Hey, folks, this episode of the Nick DiPaolo podcast, sponsored by Immunologic. If you're like me, you know how miserable it is to be constipated, especially in this weather. Jesus, you're pushing, you're sweating. It's like you got to go to Lamaze classes to take a dump. And you just want something that's going to work instead of trying multiple remedies. Our new sponsor, Immunologic, has a product made from natural multivitamins, minerals, and amino acids called Aloe Ferox whole leaf capsules, and it works. And it does work because I have trouble when I eat bread. I try to stay away from it. I don't know why it blocks me up, because I work out and I don't drink enough after I'm dehydrated. But I took these this weekend and everything moved smoothly. A little too much information, I understand, but I'm just saying. That's why I'm in such a chipper mood today. Aloe Ferox whole leaf is the world's most remarkable constipation remedy. Although it's not been approved by the FDA, it works in just days to effectively clear parasites, worms, and other pathogens. What are you, eating at a wet market every day? From the bowels. It also helps a liver with normal bowel flow and is a weight loss remedy. Seriously, if you've been constipated before, you know how great it is once things start working like they should again. Immunologic is a Texas-based company, and you can find all the info on Aloe Ferox whole leaf on their website at immunologic.com. And if you go to that website now, which is also displayed on the screen, you'll get free shipping on your order. That's right, free shipping. That's immunologic.com. We thank them for sponsoring today's show. A jam-packed show as it is. We're just getting started with the black hate of this country. And again, it's not, I'll say this again. I love that I'm doing this show from Savannah because it's 60% black, 40% white. You don't feel any tension. You know what I mean? And I got to believe that's the way it is most places in the country. Keep in mind the media has it at each other's throats. When I say the media, the mainstream media, which is the fucking propaganda arm of the Democrat Party, they want to split and divide us, and it's working beautifully. You don't need Russia's help or anybody else. Just NBC, ABC, CBS. But this woman here, this is the woman who got, elected in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I still don't even know what she ran for. Raz, do you know? Congresswoman, whatever. Presley, her name is. Presley campaign organizer claims white vaginas and white penises jeopardize black people's melanin. That's Presley herself. That's not the campaign. That's the woman who got elected in Cambridge, Mass, who wants to make shoplifting a misdemeanor. She wants, last week she said to white people, give us what you owe us. How do you get elected? Massachusetts, you are the most spinal, it's my home state. It's so embarrassing. But yeah, her campaign manager says that white vaginas, white penises jeopardize black people's melanin. Crazy bitch.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Let's take a listen from this, another person who's just all filled with love and tolerance from the left.
Hands off. And then this heifer running against Ayanna Presley. This one here with the white husband.
Pause. She's talking about a black woman married to a white husband. And keep in mind, picture a white person running I don't care, at any level of government, a white campaign manager saying this shit about black people. Just keep that in mind when you watch this. Go ahead.
At some point, we're going to have a conversation with black folks who get in a relationship with white folks and then forget that they black. We're going to have that conversation. And I know it's going to fuck with y'all nerves. It's going to be uncomfortable, but we're going to have that conversation because...
Have we lowered the standards in this country enough out of fairness to black people? She's talking straight. She's ignorant. She's illiterate. She's running this woman's campaign. Or she's the campaign manager. Think about that. Go ahead.
White vagina and white penises jeopardize your melanin, then we need you to sit in the back of the classroom, and this ain't your part of the show, and you don't get to talk right now. Until you practice some self-love, know your history, and realize where the fuck you came from, this ain't your part of the show. We need you to sit in the back. I need all the people that understand what it is to wake up black, regardless of how many educated gang symbols you have at the end of your name, regardless of how close in proximity you are to white supremacy, regardless of how many white penises you ride. And I ain't mad at you, sis, because if you riding that motherfucker for a credit score, get you that house, boo. Get your 40 acres and your mule. Just don't forget.
All right. You hear that? She's involved in politics, folks. She's running a person's campaign who's on the national level. Just think about that for a second. You sit in the back of the room. It ain't your turn to talk. Talking about black people who fuck with white people, have sex with white people. Just reverse the races. Has she been fired yet? I haven't read that today. Maybe. Or promoted to, probably Joe Biden. Biden's probably looking at her as a VP candidate now. Talking straight like a fucking gang member. Ignorant, ugly.
You fat, nasty black bitch.
Unfucking real. Keep voting Democrat, though. Let's stay on hateful black women / gay. Again, Lori Lightfoot, you know who she is, the mayor of Chicago. Over the weekend, once again, what is this, the fourth weekend in a row now? Mayor Lightfoot, Chicago headline reads, 50 shot, at least 6 killed since Friday evening, okay? 50 people have been shot, at least 6 killed Friday through Sunday morning this weekend in Chicago. 37 have been shot, 6 fatally between Friday and 9 p.m. local time Saturday night, but they had to updo the numbers. That's how quick it's moving. Sunday morning, Chicago Times reported the number of shooting victims rose to 50. Mayor Lightfoot, Chicago, has witnessed a massive surge in gun violence this year. And on July 16th, 2020, Breitbart News reported that Lightfoot responded to mayhem by pushing more gun control.
There's something wrong with the black man's mind. There's something wrong with his mind.
And she is a man. Make no mistake about it. Mayor Lightfoot, Chicago, has witnessed a massive surge. She did not mention that the cumulative impact of county ordinances and state laws means Chicago already has gun owner licensing, an assault weapons ban, a high-capacity magazine ban, a 72-hour waiting period on gun purchases, firearm restraining orders, and de facto universal background checks. They have all that, and they have the highest gun crime. There's cities in Afghanistan who don't have that kind of violence. So you people for gun control, once again, your fucking argument is shot to hell, no pun intended. Keep stacking on. We need more laws, more gun control. How much evidence do you need? She's an incompetent ass. She got elected because she's a minority and she's gay. Case fucking closed. I don't even believe these people get elected. Eliana Presley or her. I think they get selected. I don't think there's that many dumb people in the country that would select of any race that would elect somebody with these points of view. Mayor Lori Lightfoot, let's continue, because no doubt she's a whitey hater. On Friday, she doubled down on an earlier tweet. Remember last week, she called President Donald Trump's White House spokesman, cute little blonde girl, Karen McEnany. Karen, I called her Karen. Whatever her first name is, what is it? Katie? Oh, Kayleigh McEnany. That's right. Well, Mayor Lightfoot called her a Karen, which is just a racial slur. That's a fucking racial slur. Like I said, what do we call her? Somebody online called her Beetlejuice, which is fucking perfect. It's an insult to Beetlejuice. Again, it's about how she doesn't fit into the mainstream. Channeled all her hate towards the country she was born in my opinion. But she told, Trump's spokesman, called her a Karen, telling her to watch her mouth, saying she won't hold her tongue as the president's administration tries to demonize her and other mayors.
You need to shut the fuck up.
He's demonizing you because you're incompetent. What are we supposed to ignore the numbers? You look at every city that's run by liberals and it's a shithole, whether it's Detroit, Baltimore, Atlanta. That's why you're getting demonized. If you can put your hatred of Whitey away for 5 minutes. After White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany on Thursday referred to Lightfoot as the derelict mayor of Chicago and again, that's based on facts, accused her of not doing enough to resolve the city's gun violence. Lightfoot responded, "Hey, Karen, watch your mouth." Hey, fuck you, wash my car, Mayor. Fucking bitch. Asked about that Friday, Lightfoot said, "I think it's pretty straightforward." Before launching into her latest attack on what she said is Trump's attempt to heap blame on Democrats for political purposes in order to change the subject from their failed leadership. You are delusional, honey. She's the one who got the haircut, by the way, a couple months ago, right in the middle of the COVID thing when you're not supposed to get your hair cut. She said, because I'm on national TV. Once again, do as I say, not as I do. What we've seen, and unfortunately, she says, what we're going to continue to see, is the Trump administration obviously thinks they will score some political points by trying to demonize and make Democratic mayors, particularly women mayors. Oh, she's a victim of sexism and racism. They think they're going to take us on and make us look bad because that will score points with their base. And you know what? He couldn't be more right. You're just an angry motherfucker.
My vagina's angry. It is. It's pissed off.
No, it isn't. You got a dick. Nothing, Raz? I thought you liked that one. Let me get my cigarette ashes off my... This won't be the last time that his flacks, this is her talking about Trump's people, take me on. But good luck, Lightfoot said of McEnany's comment. I'm still here. I'm going to lead the city as best I can. Yeah, if this is your best, you are the worst. And we're going to get the job done. You're not getting the job done. You're failing miserably. We're going to get the job done to protect residents of this city. Exactly what you're not doing. You're projecting. You have fucking nothing. Do words mean anything anymore? Whether or not the president ever steps up or not is what she says. She's a nasty lady is what she is.
You smug cocksucker. Fuck you.
Hey, you talking to me or her? I'm just pointing out the facts, bitch. Oh my God, is it hot up in this? Let's change the pace a little bit. It's all been race and COVID. Let's get into some fucking gender discrimination. This is a good story. I love this one. Jeremy Roenick, you know who he was, a Hall of Fame hockey player with the Blackhawks, a few other teams. I think American-born, too. Accuses NBC of heterosexual discrimination. And you know damn well it exists. NBC couldn't be further left. And this story proves it to me. Jeremy Roenick is suing NBC Sports for wrongful termination, saying that he was fired for saying something deemed vulgar, while a gay colleague who made similar comments was not reprimanded. Back in February, Roenick was a guest on a December 19 episode of Barstool Sports Spittin' Chicklets podcast, where he joked about wanting to have a threesome with his wife and Catherine Tappan, another NBC Sports host. The former NHL star described the day when the three of them were out by the pool while on vacation and were asked by another vacationer about the situation between all of them. He said, and I quote, "I play it off like we're going to bed together every night, the three of us," Roenick said. "If it really came to fruition, that would be really good." But it's never going to happen, he said. Okay? And that...
Christy, get down on your knees so Sabrina can see your asshole.
In the lawsuit filed in New York on Friday, Roenick says during the 2018 Winter Olympics, he asked NBC Sports executive Sam Flood about colorful commentary, in quotes, he heard from analyst Johnny Ware, very super gay figure skater, regarding the body parts of ice skaters. Roenick says that Flood responded by saying, and this is a guy that works for NBC, Ware is gay. He can say whatever he wants. Okay?
That's faggot stuff. You want to call it by its name, that's strictly for fags.
That's what I wore to our my prom in high school. Was voted queen of the prom. Look at the fucking guy. What did he say? I'd like a costume that looks like an AIDS test? The fuck? Jesus Christ. Roenick also points to a story from earlier this month about a video where Ware and Tara Lipinski used a vulgar term for a woman's groin and joked about a sexual affair when talking about Olympic bronze medalist Brady Tennell. However, to date, there has not been any remedial action taken against Lipinski or Ware, the lawsuit says. Of course not.
Please give me call.
Roenick says that ultimately he was fired because of his sex and his sexual orientation. I couldn't agree with him more. He also said that his open support of Donald Trump in 2017 played a factor in his death. I agree with that too. We have not seen the complaint and we have no comment, an NBC Sports spokesperson told the publication. Yeah, right.
You're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
Those are the facts. Double standard, triple standard, triple Lux, triple Salchow, camel toe. Camel toe. That was... can I be honest? I love figure skating. Those are some of the nicest ashes you'll see anywhere. I'm talking about the women one. I always thought they could make it much more exciting by making the girls go pantyless figure skating. Also blindfold them, park a few cars out on the ice. Come on, that would be fucking hilarious. Why does a gay guy get to say shit like that? Obviously sexist garbage and not be reprimanded. Let's get cut to it. This country couldn't be more anti-white, more anti-heterosexual male. That's what it's always been. I mean, for the last 30 years, not always. But what are the odds he's going to win that case? What are the odds there won't be some lib female judge who says, go shit in your hat. You've had your time. Sit at the back of the bus. Ain't your time to talk. Let's make some money, Raz. I want to thank our sponsor, TheDonaldStuff.com, for their continued support. If you've gotten something from their site already, you know it's good stuff. For those who haven't, take a minute, grab yourself one of these coffee mugs. Look at them in all the splendor at Burger King. Go to The Donald Stuff, pretty woman. There, Mike Pence, shredded. If you're going to take on the gay community, you better be ripped. Space Force. There's me with my silly hat. Go to thedonaldstuff.com. Check out all their gear. And when you use the promo code Nick, you get 10% off everything on the website. Not just these mugs, everything. That's thedonaldstuff.com. We thank them for sponsoring the show today. And I want to thank you guys for sponsoring this show today, coming through in a big way. As you know, you can contribute. It's the only way we stay alive, folks. It's the best show on the fucking internet. People are saying it all over. And every day I'm seeing stuff on Facebook where people are just finding me. And they go, where has he been? Where the fuck have you been? I've been doing this 32 years. You've been following who? Fucking, I don't know, grab a comedian I hate. Following Gabriel Iglesias. Again, nice guy, but Ellen DeGeneres. That's who you've been watching. Turns out she's a fucking bitch. If I read one more article about how hateful she is, behind the scenes with her staff and shit, might be bullshit. But I want to thank you guys. You can contribute at nickdip.com, or you can sign up at patreon.com as a monthly subscriber. So here are the people since last Thursday when we went off the air, who have contributed. Listen to this list. I'm so proud of you guys. Chris Vaccarelli, New York, who I know personally. Mazen Selfiti, California. Patrick Militello, Florida. Mario Leone, Texas. Kenneth Marsh, Pennsylvania. Peter Gula, North Carolina. David Pettinger, Texas. Paul Sagnella, Connecticut. Kevin Kendrick, Maryland. Anthony Papaneri, who sent the big contribution. Thank you so much, Anthony, from New Jersey. Jay Kiefer, Montana. Kevin Pinnock, Massachusetts. Cindy Pfeiffer, Texas. Jared Duraco, love the name, New York. James Moore, North Carolina. Leon Lowry, Louisiana. Timothy Trent, Arizona. Gina Kubig, South Carolina. Lakasambudi.
Lakasambudi.
Idaho. Casey Wodinsky, Florida. Brian Marzulli, New Jersey. Crumb Creep Coward Lush, Utah. Ridian Boehner, United Kingdom. Lisa Bradshaw, Missouri. Jim McEntee, New Zealand. Eddie Alvarado, Alabama. Phil My Cavity, Australia. Kevin Fitch, Alaska. Sean Kelly, Armed Forces, Europe. Otis Barn, Whewell's Farm. Am I missing a joke in there? United Kingdom. Edward O'Leary, Michigan. Yeah, there's more. Nathan Hammond, Armed Forces, Europe. Pelosi's an asshole, Utah. Andrew Ney, Pennsylvania. Michael Hazlitt, Michigan. Jason Parrish, Mississippi. Jonathan Burnham, Pennsylvania. Tom Sheridan, Florida. Randon Bowerman, Texas. Vincent LaGrega, New York. Richard Brokeman, United Kingdom. Charlie Solano, Florida. Leonie Macari, Rhode Island. Jerry Dowdy, Ohio. Do you believe this? Jeff Green, Texas. Aching Stem Cell Therapy, Texas. Taylor Broad, Louisiana. Do you believe there's more? Chris Dool, New York. Anthony Scheidhabel, Kentucky. Ian Daly, Michigan. John Corey, New York. Randy Parks, Washington. Man, that's the longest list we've ever had. Thank you guys so much. Here's the new monthly supporters since Thursday. AJ, scared to put his name in it. Brandon Caroga, Gorillas 213. Hal Beebe, Jeremy Joseph, John Powers, Michael Gagnon, Philip Golst, William McKnight, Bo Lajar, Harambe Dirtnap. What? Lawrence Ziegler, St. Louis Infidel, Eric Addy, Keith Killer Kalski, a wrestler from the 50s. Rocky Pintozzi. Oh, my God, what a great name. Willie Pizzonia. Get it, Willie Pizzonia? Jesus. Johnny Peebles. Yummy down on this. John Largespada. Am I missing something there, Russ? Joseph Pear. Savannah Wallman. All monthly subscribers at patreon.com. And when you do that, remember, You get a free story nobody gets every fucking day. No need to curse, Nick. I'm sorry. You get, what do you get? You get to ask me a question, and you get archives, access to all the older shows. Yep.
I have a Patreon question as well.
Well, let it fly, motherfucker. Here we go. James R. San Jose, California. Nick, I'm 50 and also grew up watching the Oakland Raiders with my father. I haven't missed a week since age 7. The NFL is considering singing the Black National Anthem before the National Anthem every game this season. I heard it was every game for the first week, but you might be right. I think this is my line. Am I overreacting? I want to say it's my line too, James R., but I love football so goddamn much, I'm not going to let Black Lives Matter or all the anti-American haters, the Colin Kaepernicks of the world, take away my football. Most of the league is violent thugs anyway, so I don't give a fuck. National Felon League. They're great athletes. I love it. I love that they do steroids. And this goes for the white guys, too. Everybody hates everybody. They're not afraid of anybody. It's like watching prison football, only on a higher level. I don't know. James, I don't blame you if you say that's enough. But I'm going to stand for the Black National Anthem. Going to stand outside while they're playing and then come back in my house. Going to take a knee. I could say a joke right now that'd be so hilarious it would fucking probably get me canned, even on this. I'll take a knee, you know what I'm saying? That knee is, listen. I don't know how to answer that. You make your own. I will understand completely. But since you're a Raiders fan and you like the bad boy, what the fuck? I can't give up football. Plus, I'm the defending champion of the football pool last year. 102 people. That's right. I came in number 1. Think about that. If you saw how I did the last 15 years, you wouldn't be surprised I was overdue, but I couldn't believe it. $1,500, that went to the air conditioning in my house. I really do better if I lived in a tent in a field in Nebraska. We're going to come up with a new segment, Raz. We're going to call it B cubed. B to the third. Isn't that what they call it, cubed? Or Raz like, I don't know. B cubed. That's for blacks behaving badly. Okay? Somebody print that up tonight. I talk like I have a staff of 40. Raz is like, I got a fucking wife and kids, man. Here's a video. Boyfriend desperately tries to protect his girlfriend as couple beaten by mob inside airport. Now, I didn't have to look at the clip to know what color the victims were, what color the suspects were. I guess that makes me racist because I draw conclusions after seeing 70,000 viral videos in the last 10 years where it's one race working on another race. But keep calling me, racist for actually prejudging and being right 99.9% of the time. This is in an airport. They don't tell us where. Why not? I don't know. White girl gets off a plane with a boyfriend. She's having a little verbal to go with some black girls, and the white girl walks away. Who has a nice ass, by the way. She slaps her ass cheek. She's in shorts. I rewound it like 7 times. Watch it like the Zapruder films. And then all hell breaks loose. Here you go. And action. There you go. Black on a white couple.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
Now he has to save his girlfriend.
Where's the Kennedy at, nigga? Damn. That's all you get.
There's something wrong with the black man's mind.
Reminds me of watching Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom as a kid. You know what I'm talking about. Black hyenas on a white tiger. 19 on 1. All right, we get the idea. Now, I didn't show you last week. There was another incident. I think it was Fort Lauderdale Airport or Spirit Airline, whatever. We didn't show it, though, because I didn't want to pile on. And again, I'm not cherry picking these. This is what's going on in the country right now because of BLM and, black people have their chests puffed out right now. And but I didn't show you this one because we had shown a couple other ones. But this was from last week at Spirit Airlines.
Tuesday night, this was the scene at Gate G12. Spirit Airlines flight to Philadelphia delayed. Multiple passengers upset, some throwing their garbage at Spirit employees, some throwing fists. Among the items tossed at the gate employees were phones, shoes, full water bottles, metal board signs, and, of course, fast food. The assault lasting roughly a minute before being broken up. Broward Sheriff's Office arresting 3 women from Philadelphia, 20-year-old Tamaya Wright, 21-year-old Kiera Ferguson, and 22-year-old Denisha Dixon, arrested for battery.
Who's an animal? Your mother's an animal, you son of a bitch!
Oh, Jake, take it easy. What the fuck is going on, folks? Mother of God. Let me do one more story before me and Raz pass out here. I'm not shutting that thing off next weekend. I'm telling you. You think the thought police are real? We always talk about it for the last 40 years and how we're living through this Orwellian times. Well, it's coming to fruition. It's no longer a theory. This happened in the UK. It doesn't matter because it's already here, basically. UK thought police question man over, get this, offensive Facebook comments. Watch this. They come to his house because something offensive he put on Facebook.
Well, at the moment, I'm leaving it open for a voluntary interview.
Well, I want to know what can I be charged with then? What have I done? What is the alleged crime?
It's Paul Lennon.
Yeah, but what's the alleged crime?
Malicious communications.
Malicious communications.
You believe this?
Okay. And how have I? What's malicious? Malicious communications. Malicious would mean that I had intent to harm someone, surely.
So that's what we'll be looking.
Can you confirm that malicious means?
That's what I can discuss with you.
No. Can you confirm what your definition of malicious means?
Malicious communications, is making comments on an open forum, which is social media, which is deemed to be offensive.
Offensive.
Shut up! Mind your fucking business and shut up.
Well, who cares what's offensive?
Well, I can discuss that with you in more detail when you come and speak to me.
No, discuss it now, bitch.
It'll be a very entertaining
there we go.
conversation, I'm sure. But it baffles me that by looking at you guys, you don't seem to be far leftist nutters. So why
nutters? Pause. You see how even when the Brits are in a conflict, you see how it's different than what goes on at the airport here in America? They're so polite. Could you tell me, please, why I'm being questioned as opposed to over here? Get the fuck off my lawn. I'll say whatever the fuck I want, motherfucker. But that's why they are where they are today. You're watching Orwell's book play out. These are thought police coming to your house. Go ahead.
Oh, we'll talk about this on Sunday, but
that's the best place for it. We're police officers, and
you're
useful idiots.
I've got no hate in my heart whatsoever. Only hate for people that prey on the innocent or
look
lie.
At the dog
That's
in the
my
back.
only hate. So I'll be glad to come and talk about whatever it is on Sunday.
The easiest way.
Yeah, no, of course. You've got to understand where I'm coming from.
Do it down at Tunbridge. I'm from Maidstone.
You've got to understand where I'm coming from. You've got 2 policemen at my house, plainclothes policemen, talking to me about some conversation that I've had on Facebook. Simply about political things. In no way in any of them conversations, which I'm sure you've got.
Look at a little dog. Get off
that for the interview.
Yeah, no, I'm going to say it now, and then we can say it again.
Save it for the interview.
Nothing
Fuck
that
you.
I said in any of them comments is malicious whatsoever.
Exactly.
It's simply speaking about the matters that we've got before us.
Guys are not even listening.
And I'm certainly not on the side of anything evil or hateful, put it that way.
Are these two related?
Nah, he's a whippet, and that's one.
A whippet? That dog's a whippet, obviously. Whippet? They're going to arrest him for calling it whippet. That's slave terms. Whippet. Get him on that.
Shut up. Mind your fucking business and shut up.
You believe it, Raz? People in the UK are routinely arrested and questioned by police for social media posts under the Malicious Communications Act. The law states that it is illegal to send messages for the purpose of causing distress or anxiety. Do you believe that? Like, I could have a fat friend and I send him a picture of brownies. And they're going to come to my house. Because it gave me anxiety. It's that stupid. For the purpose of causing distress or anxiety. Although this has been broadened to such a degree that anyone can claim distress or anxiety simply because they were offended. Exactly. It's happening, folks. In 2017, it was reported that British police had arrested 3,395 people for offensive online comments. I'll repeat that. Almost 3,400 people were arrested for online comments. Why would you live there? Doesn't matter. I guess it's all over the globe. Last year, Harry Miller, a former police officer himself, was interrogated by cops for 30 minutes merely for liking a tweet that was deemed to be offensive to the transgender community.
No! No, 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 no! No! No, 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 no! No! Not this fucking time! No fucking way, no fucking way! No fucking way, no fucking way, mate!
That is it, folks. Orwell wrote that shit how long ago? All coming true. How long before they come into our doors here? Probably already are. I don't know. By the way, this weekend I put a bid in online for an AR-15 and I won the bid. I got the news right before the show, so maybe I'll bring it here and get a nice look at it. Can you do that on YouTube, or is that considered anxiety or malicious? She's a beauty. I'll be on the roof this weekend. I think my neighbors are out of town. I'll practice on their RV in the driveway. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you so much for your support. I can't thank you enough. Remember, you guys think it, I'll say it. You're very welcome. We'll see you back here at the same time tomorrow. Bye, everybody.